I'm making a game from scratch starting with this, and somehow ending up here. But to get here, we have to go back to the very beginning when I first made the truck. I started with a simple block out and kept tweaking it until the silhouette looked right, then I started adding some details. I used a color atlas to texture the cab, and I repeated the process for the bed and wheels. But when I imported it into Unreal, I ran into a big problem. The colors weren't right. Once I fixed that, I finally had my first real object in the game. The only problem was that it still couldn't move. I set up some wheel classes and slapped the camera on it, expecting it to just work, but it felt more like a boat than a truck. No matter what I changed, the truck kept rocking back and forth and bouncing all over the place. Not even lowering the center of mass helped. I tried animating the wheels to figure out what was happening, but that just introduced a whole new problem. Once I finally fixed that, I realized the issue wasn't the settings, it was the proportions. The oversized wheels looked cool, but the physics system just didn't know what to do with them. So I shrunk the wheels, failed the animation again, and the truck actually drove the way it was supposed to. But this still wasn't a game. So I made a crate. I attached it to the back of the truck and set up a simple pickup and drop off zone so you could actually deliver something. And now I have a game. Kinda. The world was still empty and gray, but before touching trees or rocks, I tried building a grass texture. My first idea was to use an image I made in Blender, but it tiled pretty poorly. So instead of fighting it, I decided to learn the material system and ended up with a pretty solid grass material. Now I had grass, but I didn't have grass. This time I built the grass directly in Unreal and used a PCG graph to scatter it naturally across the map. The grass made the world feel more alive, but it was still empty. What it really needed was some trees. So I painted a texture and built a pine tree around it to use in the world. And it really started to take shape after I placed a few around. Next I made a bush and a rock to fill some of the leftover space, and the world didn't feel so empty anymore. Driving around the levels still felt kinda aimless, so I carved a simple road through the landscape. It was starting to look like a game, but I knew I could do better. So I went back and upgraded almost everything. After weeks of tweaking lighting and assets, this is what it became.